Got to turn it on, I guess. We speakers get to take our masks off, so that's nice. Sorry about that. Okay, welcome this evening. My name is Jim Merriner. I am the superintendent of the Galena City School District. On behalf of the Galena City School District's Board of Trustees, faculty, administration, and staff, I am delighted to welcome you, our distinguished graduates, parents, guardians, relatives, and guests to GCSD's 2021 commencement ceremony. Thank you for joining us for this important event, either here in person in the SHS Large Gymnasium or enjoying the streaming video on a screen elsewhere. Tonight's joyful event honors our seniors, soon-to-be graduates, for successfully completing the requirements for a Galena City School District High School diploma. Tonight's seniors deserve special recognition for having persevered through the daily challenges of this worldwide pandemic. Not since the influenza pandemic of 1918 has humanity faced a public health crisis of this magnitude. Seniors, each of you deserves enormous respect for your extraordinary adaptability, resilience, and dedication to learning, completing your studies, and graduating despite immense difficulties and uncertainties. Please join me in honoring our indomitable seniors for this above and beyond accomplishment. For those of you who couldn't see and you're watching on the screen, the entire audience stood up and now my hair is standing on end. Sorry about that. Woo! It gave me chills. And in light of this extraordinarily challenging pandemic year, I would be remiss if I failed to acknowledge the extraordinary adaptability, resilience, and dedication to learning, and to the health and safety of everyone in Galena of the following people and organizations. Now, I know you're going to want to applaud after each one, but I ask that we hold applause until all are mentioned. First, our phenomenal teachers and administrators. Second, our amazing support staff, from maintenance custodial staff to office staff to dining services staff to dorm staff, who live with our boarding school students day in and day out. Third, our incredible parents and guardians. Fourth, the city of Galena for their successful COVID-19 travel-related protections, which we all love, some not. They kept us safe. Okay. Fifth, the Loudon Tribal Council for their continued partnership in the education of our youth. And last but not least, Galena's very own Dr. Tammy Huntington for volunteering so much time and medical expertise this past year, and the rest of the TCC Edgar Noldner Health Center staff. By pulling together, Team Galena kept the doors open to in-person education the vast majority of this school year. And for those of you who might not know, this was a rare achievement in America this past year. Most students learned from home, staring at a computer screen. I should say, trying to learn, staring at a computer screen. I, for one, am extremely proud of what we've all accomplished together. Please join me in thanking all those who've made this possible. At this time, before getting down to business, let me, out of courtesy, ask everyone to ensure that his or her cell phone is turned on and able to be heard. I certainly wouldn't want a proud relative to miss a text or tweet or phone call during this evening's special celebration. Bad joke, of course. Thank you for putting your cell phones on vibrate. Seniors, thinking of delighted families, proud relatives, brings to mind a quote from Gary Bolding. Quote, "Your families are extremely proud of you. You can't imagine the sense of relief they are experiencing. This would be a most opportune time to ask for money." Now, bad jokes aside, and back to my welcome remarks. My, or should I say our, hope for you, and I share these thoughts every year because they're timeless thoughts, to have learned how to read deeply, how to listen carefully, communicate clearly, and to understand and appreciate complexity. To have learned how to think critically and creatively, and to be nimble and resourceful in the face of uncertainty, kind of like this year. To have learned how to put words into action and to engage the world in Galena and around the globe. And to have learned how to honor the caring people who have loved, protected, nurtured, and taught you. These are the skills for a lifetime, the building blocks of a productive, ethical, and satisfying life. Class of 2021, you will soon become a Galena City School District alumnus for you gentlemen, and alumna for you ladies, an affiliation we hope instills pride throughout your lives. To quote from two unknown comics, seniors, remember, quote, "When they hand you your diploma, keep moving, just in case they try to take it back," end quote. And last but not least, of the corny bad jokes, quote, "The tassel's worth the hassle," end quote. Now, please join me in welcoming the class of 2021, whom I ask to rise and be recognized. Thank you. Welcome to all, and congratulations, seniors. You may be seated.
It is a great privilege for me to be able to introduce to you The salutatorian for the GILA School for the graduating class of 2021 is Marlene Moore.
We did it. Over the past 12 years, we've been through tragedies, both personally and community-wide, triumphs, surprises, and even once in 100 years, a pandemic. And still, here we are, graduating from high school and moving on with our lives. Tomorrow, we turn the page to a new chapter in our life book and start a new part of the story. That's our lives. You know, our stories. We now get to tell our story to those who come after us and tell them what we did and didn't work for us, like our elders have done for us. We wrote our stories and we edited them with help from many others in our lives. I would like to thank my mom for encouraging me to keep on going and reminding me that the sky is the limit, and so whatever I dream, anything that I dream it's not impossible to be reached. She's a strong woman I aspire to be one day. Thank you, Mom. Miss Casey, or something now. Thank you for being my cool teacher. You helped me make my dreams come true by finding the college I'm going to attend next semester in Colorado. I am beyond grateful to have had you as my English teacher. Thank you. Ms. Matthews, you've been the moral support of this entire class and for many other students who have crossed your path. Thank you for your kind heart you have shown us. I wish you were able to be here in person, but I know you're watching the live, so hi, Ms. Matthews. Adriana Diaz, you have been like a mom to me since my freshman year. I am honored to have met someone like you in my lifetime. You have given me some great advice to live by. You're the person who is not afraid to tell me what is right and what is wrong. I thank you for that. Lastly, I would love to thank my sister Marlene. She made it possible for her and my mom to be able to be here on this special day. Also, my dad, who is not here with us anymore. I love you, Dad. I love you all for being a part of my life. So what now? Now we keep on going, we keep moving, we keep learning, and keep living. We keep writing our story. I found a quote that might be helpful to keep close. Accept your past without regrets. Handle your present with confidence. Face your future without fear. Accept your past without regrets. Your past is over, it's done, it's finished. Dwelling on a woulda, shoulda, coulda moment is a waste of time. We must use those moments as lessons we have mastered and move on. Yes, some things have been difficult if we had gone left instead of right, but it's done. This is our path now, and we have to make the most of it. Handle your present with confidence. We have spent 12 years in school. We got this. We may not know everything, but we're teenagers. No one expects us to know everything. We do know enough to get through today and make it to tomorrow. The experiences we get by living through each day gives us the lessons we need to continue to the next one. Day by day, lesson by lesson, just like in school, we build our knowledge and we make it through. Face the future without fear. Caution is good, caution is wise, but fear is crippling. In the science fiction book Dune, author Frank Herbert said, "Fear is a mind killer." He was right. Fear makes us freeze. It fills us with doubt. It steals hope and hides truth from us. Let me remind you that you have been through 12 years of training for life. Our teachers, our elders, and our friends have shared knowledge to make us ready for our next chapter in our life book. Fear makes those lessons harder to remember. If we face our fears and refuse to let it control us, the world opens up to us and we will prevail. We will never forget these days, these years we have spent as students at GILA. They shaped and molded the story of our lives and contributed to making us into who and what we are. Now it's up to us to choose the plot of our continuing stories. We have the power within us to write an epic. Let's go out there and do it. Thank you.
It is with pleasure that I introduce to you Sidney C. Huntington School's 2021 Salutatorian, Mr. Charles Carlo.
Well, hello tonight. I'm not a person on giving speeches firsthand, for sure. But first, I'd like to say congratulations to the class of 2021. For real, for real. It's been one heck of a year. Who would have thought we would have pulled through? With COVID stripping away all our freedoms, entertainment privilege from students and our teachers. To my GILA fam especially, I can't imagine. To this frustrating year, I owe it our class quote. It's a cruel and random world, but the chaos is also beautiful. What a quote. I believe in the class of 2021 that we are truly heading towards our dreams and successes. If there's nothing this year has taught me more of, it's how to prepare myself for the outside world, or the adult life, I should say. And I dedicate that to GCSD, or my home. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge my junior high teacher, Mr. Fenimore, for being the most memorable and hilarious teacher of all time, due to his constant jokes and his darn jelly bean video that he kept on showing us all the time. If you know, you know. Now my high school teachers. Your guys' teaching is on a different level. You people were the best when it came to teaching. Each of you were there to help with my homework and class assignments every time. You guys have always been more than just my teachers. You became my family, and I'm happy for it. Now basketball trips. What was more fun than to be part of one of those? The bonding, learning, teaching, all the helpful in molding a young adult. On those long hourly bus rides, hanging out, and always being told to focus on my homework when we never did. I always remember and always will miss those days. And to the loving and caring people in and around my community, thanks with all my heart. I would not be the growing man I am right now with any of you. A life without friends isn't a life at all. Words can't explain the friends I am blessed with. They are truly my forever G's. Going to school here wouldn't be possible without any of you guys. Just thanks for staying with me till the end. Lastly, a special thanks to my family, of course. Without you guys, I would not be here. So thanks and love for all you guys you have shown me. And to my coaches especially. You guys have taught me how to be strong on the court and off the court by teaching me academics and everything. Thank you, Town of Galena and everyone here. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Brandon.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Galena Interior Learning Academy's valedictorian for the class of 2021, Miss Emily Harry.
Before we start, I want to say hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Good afternoon, family, friends, faculty members, and fellow graduates. Well, we did it. We all accomplished one of the major early milestones of our lives while in a pandemic, high school graduation. This is a major step in the journey of our lives, one that should be recognized for its immense significance. It is an act of not only personal commitment, but also one of pride. We all worked hard to get to this day, and our work did not go to waste. A high school diploma is a wonderful tool in this world, one that gives us more opportunities in our lives to get where we want. But graduation is not an end goal in itself. It is instead a part of a larger journey of life. Wherever your future takes you, let it take you to that somewhere. Life is a journey, and all accomplishments we achieve during its course should be taken as starting points for further achievements. Our graduation should serve as a launching point, projecting us to wherever our futures are meant to take us, whether we land ourselves a career, take up a trade, or continue our education at college or vocational/technical school. I would now like to not only talk about the great accomplishments we've overcome or will eventually overcome, but rather acknowledge the many teachers that have helped us bring us to this moment. You all have worked hard. You all have worked to the best of your abilities to teach us the many things that may have been boring to us or brought us to awe. Nonetheless, Guyana, thank you very much for everything you've ever done. I know for sure that I'm very grateful for all your help. We've already shown our commitment to personal growth through making it to this ceremony today. This ceremony has already shown us how capable we all are of accomplishing our goals when we can now commit ourselves to them. I hope all of us here today can take this personal accomplishment as an example of how anything is possible when we put our minds to it, or that was just out of pure luck. This past year has been quite tough on everyone because of the pandemic. It also has been quite odd because we had to get used to doing some things we are not used to doing, such as using masks, social distancing, and even being in groups at the dorms and following all these guidelines. I don't say this a lot, but I am very proud of y'all, and I'm happy you've decided to graduate with your classmates here. Graduates, if you think you're not capable of doing anything, think back to your senior year of high school and think, dang, I really went after what I was going after for like 12, 13 years and achieved it through a pandemic. Before we continue on with our lives, a quote by a Japanese manga artist, Hiromi Arakawa. It's a cruel and random world, but the chaos is also beautiful. As we all continue on, let us take each new problem on with confidence and positivity. Thank you.
again with pleasure, I introduce to you Sidney C. Huntington Schools 2021 Valedictorian, Miss Bethany Grant.
Good afternoon, teachers, administration, school staff, friends and family, and of course, the class of 2021. I'm honored to be standing up here to celebrate the accomplishments of our class. I would like to begin thanking everyone who got me here and anyone who's been helpful along the way. My parents, Louis and Cecilia Grant, for everything, even life. My sisters for being the best role models I could ask for and for inspiring me to try my best to become a valedictorian. My close friends for always being there for me. My grandparents, Ben and Eliza Jones, for teaching me my traditions. Mrs. Casey for getting me to be more comfortable speaking so that I could be up here. Miss Whiteman for helping the seniors. And Miss Matthews for always being there for the students. The community of Kaiguk for always seeing me as family and giving me such wonderful memories. The community of Galena for making this one of my homes, and my Tamina family for continually showing their love and support. I remember the first day that I got here. It was in 2nd grade, and I was so nervous because I didn't know anyone, and I'm really shy. Now, if I walk into a room and see them, my whole day is already better, and it's like all of my worries just fade away. We've shared a lot of memories and milestones. We went through the 2013 flood together. We went through our freshman year together, still currently enduring the pandemic together, and now we are graduating together. This year has been weird, a lot of firsts. Having to see Shirley behind the plexiglass, being separated at lunch, noticing that Mr. Stringer had a beard after he took off his mask. We have struggled to accept the pandemic as our new normal, having to do online school, not knowing what happens next, and mostly the hardship of not seeing our loved ones. Our senior quote says, "It's a cruel and random world, but the chaos is also beautiful." This describes this past year perfectly. All those quarantines were stressful, our lives were turned upside down, and everything changed, but allowed us to be more creative or just to relax and take a break from life. It also allowed us to be thankful for what we have. Perhaps we all have a new appreciation for our families, our friends, and our activities. I'm extremely happy to be graduating with this class and wouldn't have it any other way. We came from villages across Alaska, from different cultures and a multitude of backgrounds. Over the past 4 years, we have all made amazing friends and experienced new things. To the class of 2021, this is a big step and accomplishment for all of us. Whether you're going to college, trade school, or work, from the bottom of my heart, I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Hard to follow that. Woo! Let's give them another round of applause. Well done. I have the honor tonight of introducing the commencement speaker. However, before doing so, I'd like to introduce the caring adults voted by the community to oversee the Galena City School District. These experienced individuals safeguard GCSD's continued success in, and this is part of the district's vision statement, quote, providing the highest quality educational options for families and ensuring our graduates are well-educated individuals able to maneuver effectively in a dynamic world, end quote. School board member Shirley Cleaver represents the 5-member board today. Board members Karen Bethany, Fred Huntington, Jenny Bryant, and Mary Lee Kaufman are watching online in order to allow more guests into the in-person ceremony here. President Ryan was going to join us this evening, but she was detained at the last moment. So, Shirley Cleaver, thank you. Would you stand, please, on behalf of the school board? And let's thank them for their service. All right, now back to introducing tonight's commencement speaker. This distinguished individual is well known as someone who, and in my notes I have this in bold, genuinely cares for students, colleagues, parents, and community members, basically everyone. And did I mention the students? The students. This individual has worked tirelessly advocating for all SHS and GILA students, and he has enriched the lives of everyone on Team Galena for the past 9 years. This is his and his family's last year in Galena, and before I start choking up, without further ado, let me welcome Team Galena's very own John Reynolds to the lectern. John.
Jim, thank you for that warm welcome. I'd like to welcome everyone to this very important occasion where we gather together here in this gymnasium and in viewing rooms around the school to celebrate this graduation of these wonderful young men and women. Through the work of Mr. Paul Applebeck and our tech department, you and your family and friends will be able to view this, the 2021 commencement ceremony, on YouTube. To the young men and women seated to my left, and to their families and friends, congratulations. A milestone is an action or event marking a significant change or stage in development. You are minutes away from reaching one of life's major milestones. The journey has been long. You've been in formal education for 13 or 14 years. Many people have helped you along the way, and you have helped many people as well. You all have so many stories to tell, and you will tell them. The end of high school signifies the beginning of adulthood. A new journey awaits you, and it starts in about 35, 40 minutes. I want to talk about vision. There are different ways of defining the word vision. It can be defined as the ability to think about or plan the future with imagination and wisdom. Another definition of vision is a mental image of what the future will or could be like. Yet another, vision is a vivid mental image, especially a fanciful one of the future. You may or you may not know what you want to do or what you want to be. But as you bring into focus the vision you have for your life, it is very important to know who you want to be. Before I talk any more about vision, the vision you have for who you want to be, I'm going to switch now and talk not about vision, but about observations. I've had the honor and great pleasure of knowing each of you for a pretty long time. Some of you I've known for 9 years, some for 4 years, and some for a little less. Story first. Sometimes after work, I would come home and I would find a long row of shoes and boots on the porch, and they were about this long. Some of those shoes belong to some of you. There were Saturday mornings after a sleepover when I would come downstairs to the last step where I'd find myself stuck, unable to find a path through the curled up, snoring, sleeping piles of bodies stretched wall to wall. I remember one time when I came down and there wasn't any space left where anyone could have laid down. And there, sitting on the sofa, straight up, was Aiden, sound asleep, just like he'd been sitting at a meeting. Sound asleep like everyone else. Then there was Chuck. He kind of just went on forever. I couldn't tell where one person stopped and another started. I was always afraid I would accidentally kill Chuck. When he was there, he always had to sleep, of course, on the longest portion of the floor. That partly right along the path I had to travel to get to the kitchen. But usually Chuck and Boss were snuggled up together, real close. It was hysterical. I'd climb onto the dresser and take a huge step onto the ottoman, where I'd have to stop and think. But then I'd have to search for a part of the floor, just big enough for a part of my foot. I'd have to commit to putting one foot down with all of my weight to get one step so I could jump into the kitchen. That bare spot on the floor was often right between Chuck's head and some part of somebody else. And I'd just think, please, dear God, don't let Chuck move. Thank God it always turned out okay. I have so many stories to tell about you wonderful people. Some are just conversations that have left me feeling good. Maybe the look on your face when I scared you or pulled a prank on you, or any number of things. But sharing them is for another time. I want to get back to the idea of the vision one sees for him or herself. Before I do, I want to share some things about you that I have observed. That takes me to my observations of you. I've often told you all that in more than 35 years of working with kids, that you are, whether you live locally or farther away, the coolest group of kids I've ever worked with. And let me tell you why I say that. I have watched you take care of each other. We'll always have times when we argue with each other, when our feelings get hurt, when we say things we don't mean. That's just part of being human. I've worked in different schools where during the school day, I've had to break up multiple fights, intervene in bullying situations, and help students who feel like no one likes them. We are around you 24 hours a day, and the number of physical fights I've seen in my 9 years, I could count on one hand. I've seen you go out of your way to comfort someone who is upset and to do something to make a lonely person feel included, to help them feel a part of the group. You are accepting, you are kind, you're compassionate. Observation number 2. Every year, for many of you, we watch as you arrive back in Galena. You get off the plane, clutching pillows, stuffed animals, or just chilling with your earbuds with sunglasses on, your hat pulled down. Most of you are still asleep as you walk away from the plane into the van or the bus to stand in line to check in at the sub. What have you just done? You've left the freedom you have at home. You've left your family and friends. You've left your four-wheeler, your snow machine. You've left home. Many of you did at 14 and 15 what college students struggle to do when they're 18 and 19. That takes strength and it takes commitment, and sometimes persuasion from someone at home. So we've all been able to observe in you both strength and commitment. Number 3, we have listened to your stories about back home or here locally, about your little ones, your little brothers, sisters, cousins. We've seen how you worry about them and about how you miss them. We can see how much love you have for them. You are good and experienced at taking care of people within your families. Don't ever let someone tell you that you are irresponsible. We all act irresponsible sometimes, but trust me, in many important ways, you are very responsible. You are responsible, you are family-oriented, you are loyal, and you are helpful. And another observation. We've seen the pictures you've shown us. Pictures of your elders. Pictures of you having fun with family and friends and providing for each other. Pictures of a moose caught, a basket of berries, strips of drying fish, seals thawing in your houses, a family whaling crew, little kids holding big geese, and the occasional bowl of fried rice in Anchorage, and on and on. We listen to you speaking in your language, sometimes just words, and sometimes much more. We are proud of you, and many of us are jealous of you, and in awe as we listen. The things you make, that your relatives make, your beading and sewing work, do you have any idea how cool you are? If you do, we would never know it. You don't brag. You're humble. To catch a glimpse of your culture, to learn a little, that's what brought me up here. I've gotten more from you than I could have dreamed of. Truthfully, I feel cooler for just having known you. You are rare, and rare things are precious. You honor your elders. You honor your culture. And ladies and gentlemen, you're cool. Another observation, and these are actually things that sometimes we have to deal with from time to time. We know that to various degrees, you are mischief. But we've been kids, we've been teenagers. We see some things, and we don't see some things. Thank goodness. I can hear some of your thoughts, oh my gosh, if he knew about this, I don't want to know. Just make sure nobody dies and nobody goes to jail. I mean, remember what I've been saying about you. So, you are or can be mischief, and that's okay. Other observations are very easy to see. Even though I've never heard you boasting, you are artists, musicians, poets, athletes, students, dancers, readers, DJs, drivers of boats, four-wheelers, snow machines, cars, hunters, fishers, trappers, the list goes on and on. So I've talked about developing a vision for your life. I've talked about the importance of knowing who you want to be. I've told you about the observations I've made of you generally over the years. Accepting, kind, compassionate, strong, committed, responsible, family-oriented, loyal, helpful, cool, humble. Keep these things woven into you as part of you as you develop and sharpen the vision you have for your life. When you decide who you want to be, these things are already there. Nurture them and grow them. Life will unfold for you each day. Your vision will shape the way you see the events in your life. The vision you have for your life must, if it hasn't already, begun to come into focus. Certain aspects of your vision of how you see yourself or want to see yourself will probably not change. Some of your dreams and wishes will come true and some won't. You'll find hidden gems that you've never even thought about. A new opportunity, a new friend, a new interest, a new possibility. You will continue to seek answers. The vision you have for your life will often seem out of focus. At times it will seem like you're at risk of losing it, and you may lose it for some time. But remember that the things I've said, they're already in you. You are accepting, kind, compassionate, strong, committed, responsible, family-oriented, loyal, helpful, cool, humble. Remember that you are these things, that you have these things, and realize that this is part of who you are, and who you are plays a huge part as you find the vision for your life. If you feel like you've lost your way, dig deep. Use the knowledge of who you are to bring that vision back into focus. Find it and hold on to it tight like a life jacket, because truly, it is a life jacket. I want to leave you with these thoughts. Understand that in order to get where you want to go, you have to plan how you're going to get there. You do that all the time. Keep doing it. You're going to make mistakes. The vision you have for your life is going to come in and out of focus. Keep going. Be more gentle to yourself than you often are up here. You wouldn't treat others as bad as you sometimes treat yourself up here. Again, try to be gentle to yourself. You deserve it. And lastly, have faith in something. I put my faith in God. Whether you lift these words up in prayer or just use them to help guide you in life, I found the following words very helpful. And when I'm struggling, I say them over and over. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. It is often a cruel and random world, but the chaos is also beautiful. The world needs more people like you. We congratulate you, we love you, we're proud of you, we are glad that we are part of your story and that you are part of ours. Thank you. Okay. And now it is the time that you have all been waiting for. The presentation of diplomas. Start there. Seniors? Huntington. Matthew Edward Stanley. Lydia Shantae Mary Acker. Stuart James Cleaver II. Joseph Williams IV. Corbin Matheson Summer. Aiden Dominic Pitka. Charles Carlo. Jalen B. Sergi. Terrence Roy William O'Kipton. Bethany Rose Grant. Shelby Dawn Williams. Nathan Frank Moses. Virgil Boss Leonard Sam Jr. Frank Darrell George II. Sharon Anita Galila. Raven Floyd Condello. Emily Laura Harry. Rachel Louise Sage. Selena Marie Anvil. Marlene Cecilia Moore. Heidi Annette Allen. Madeline Rose Nashonak. Evan Ruben Waska Jr. Abram Jermaine Wassley. George Darren Peters, Jr.
There we are. And now the real moment you've all been waiting for. And the one that you've been waiting for 13 years of education. So, ladies and gentlemen, seniors, would you please rise? I present to you the graduating class of 2021. Thank you for supporting these graduates and for celebrating their accomplishment tonight. Now, SHS Principal Dave Casey has an announcement about the seniors' Grand March, which will start in about 10 minutes. Enjoy the rest of the evening celebrations and be well.